All right, let's just jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you view your own body, and specifically how it heals. We're pulling some really profound insights from traditional healing philosophies, stuff like acupuncture and massage. But we're not just looking at the techniques themselves, we're unpacking the why. We're talking about a complete paradigm shift, moving way away from that mechanical mindset we're also used to, and stepping into a truly responsive biological one.
So, if the human body isn't a machine, why do we keep trying to repair it like one? I mean, we do this all the time, right? We default to treating our bodies like broken cars waiting for a mechanic. If a part acts up, we assume we just need to force it, swap it out, or override the system to fix it. But the source text we're looking at today completely flips that script. It challenges us to look at medicine as treating life itself, not inanimate objects. A machine just sits there waiting to be fixed. But your body? Your body is an active, sensing, and self-adjusting organism.
And this distinction brilliantly highlights the core conflict of this whole paradigm shift. Think about it. If you want to bend an iron bar, what do? You apply sheer, brute physical force. That bar has absolutely no say in the matter. But what if you want to shrink the pupil of a human eye? You definitely don't pry it open and squeeze it with physical force. No way. You just shine a beam of light. The body senses that light, and its active biology does all the heavy lifting. Life changes through resonance, not just brute force.
Which brings us to Section 1, the magic of resonance.
Now, let's be clear. Resonance isn't magic. It's actually a very real, observable biological process. In traditional texts, it's called ganying. It's basically the living system receiving a stimulus, experiencing a sensation, and then actively responding. It is that classic stimulus-response loop. Think about when a cold wind hits your skin and your hair stands up, or you touch a hot stove and instinctively yank your hand back. Your body is constantly taking in information, interpreting it, and dynamically responding to protect or balance itself.
And that concept builds this super logical 5-step chain of healing. It all kicks off with a stimulus, which creates a sensation in the body. That sensation triggers a response, leading to what traditional medicine calls ki movement. Now hold on, don't let that term throw you. In this context, ki movement literally just means observable biological changes happening inside you. We're talking about your muscles relaxing, your breathing slowing down, or your blood flow increasing. And finally, that movement results in a state adjustment, bringing everything back into balance. So the therapy isn't forcing the cure, it's just striking the match for this 5-step chain reaction.
Moving on to Section 2, Skin, the Human Interface.
Okay, what's really fascinating here is how this completely redefines your skin. It takes it from being just, mere packaging to a highly dynamic control panel. Your skin is a massive sensory organ. It works as a diagnostic display, literally showing us where internal pain or cold or stiffness is hiding. But at the same time, it's an interactive interface. By applying touch or temperature or pressure to this surface, practitioners can basically send signals deep into your nervous and circulatory systems to regulate the whole shebang.
But here's where it gets even cooler. These stimuli, they aren't just physical. Have you ever felt your shoulders physically drop just because someone spoke to you in a kind voice? Or, on the flip side, felt your stomach tie in knots walking into a hostile room? A safe environment, trust, even just the tone of a practitioner's voice, these are all absolutely crucial inputs that physically change your biology. They literally lower your defenses so real healing can begin.
Let's look at Section 3, why less can be more.
Practitioners in fields like craniosacral therapy use a remarkably light touch. We're talking roughly 5 grams of pressure. To put that into perspective for you, 5 grams is about the weight of a single coin resting on your skin. It is practically imperceptible.
So naturally, you gotta wonder, why on earth can just 5 grams of pressure cause a massive physical reaction? I mean, if you put a coin on a rock, absolutely nothing happens. So why does it trigger profound physiological shifts in a human being? How does something so incredibly light alter your breathing, or release deeply tight muscles, or shift your whole nervous system?
Well, the secret is that light pressure acts as an information signal, not a mechanical force. Think about the difference here. If you push hard on someone who's already in pain, that heavy stimulus acts like a command, or honestly, even a threat. The body's natural reaction is to tense right up, guard itself, and resist. But that 5-gram light stimulus, that acts like an invitation. It whispers to your nervous system, hey, it's safe to drop your guard. It completely bypasses those defensive walls, letting the body unclench and begin its own internal self-adjustment. The practitioner isn't forcing the muscle to release, they're just giving the muscle the safety signal it desperately needs to release itself.
Next up, Section 4, the black box of life.
So, to really grasp this, we need to look at how traditional Chinese medicine approaches the body as a highly complex black box. Now, modern and traditional medicine both have incredible value, for sure, but they approach this box entirely differently. Modern medicine is amazing at popping the black box open. It looks inside, finds the broken cell or blocked artery, and mechanically fixes it. Traditional medicine, though, it treats the black box while it stays closed. It constantly observes the relationship between the inputs, like your environment, diet, and physical stimuli, and the outputs, like your symptoms or pulse. Instead of taking the system apart, it gauges how the living body responds to its environment to nudge the whole organism back to a state of balance.
And because we're dealing with a living organism interacting with its environment, success hinges on this really dense checklist of 9 contextual conditions. This proves that the exact same therapy can completely fail or brilliantly succeed based on context alone. I mean, what season is it? Is the room warm and safe? Does the patient actually trust the practitioner? What's the patient's underlying constitution? You simply can't slap a standard mechanical fix onto a living system. The stimulus has to perfectly match the patient's exact state in that specific moment.
Which brings us to the treatment feedback loop. This means treatment is absolutely never a one-way street. A practitioner doesn't just apply force and walk away. No, they're in a continuous conversation with the body. They provide a stimulus, which is about a third of the process. Then they observe the output, maybe a shift in breathing, skin color, or muscle tension, and then they adjust their very next input based entirely on that feedback. It's an incredibly dynamic, living dialogue.
And that leads to this golden rule in this paradigm. You must treat the spirit, the mind, emotions, that feeling of safety, before you ever treat the physical form. If a patient is terrified, their nervous system is on lockdown. They'll instinctively tense up and fight a physical treatment, turning a helpful stimulus into a harmful one. But if that same patient feels safe, heard, and relaxed, they'll allow that exact same needle or pressure to kickstart some deep healing. Treating the spirit just means establishing safety first.
Section 5, the ultimate paradigm shift. When we zoom all the way out, the big takeaway is this: the practitioner doesn't actually heal you. They just provide the right information to unlock your body's inherent ability to heal itself. Medicine doesn't artificially create the ability to heal. That ability is already hardwired right into your biology. The practitioner is just removing the roadblocks so your natural biological rhythms can get back to work. They aren't a mechanic fixing a broken machine, they're a guide, helping a living organism find its way back to equilibrium.
I want to leave you with this absolutely phenomenal quote from the source text. Objects change by external force. Life changes through resonance. So as you move through your day dealing with your own aches, pains, or stress, ask yourself, are you treating your body like an object that needs to be forced into submission, or are you treating it like a living system just waiting for the right resonance? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.